Through dance, theater, music, and visual arts, Hearts to Art is the auditorium's award-winning summer camp for kids who have experienced the death of a parent. Hearts to Art fosters emotional growth and generates lifelong friendships. The auditorium's week of giving is December 2nd through the 9th, and all donations support Hearts to Art, and a generous donor has agreed to match donations through December 9th. A gift today doubles your impact, giving grieving children across Chicagoland an exciting arts experience this summer. You can learn more and donate at auditoriumtheater.org. Today on CityCast Chicago, we're coming off one of our snowiest days in years. I'm here to remind you to don't get told this winter. And y'all, it's Bears versus Packers week, and it actually got playoff implications. It's Tuesday, December 2nd. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I'm joined this morning by our super producer, Michelle Navarro, in the building 3 weeks in a row. Michelle, how you feeling today? How was your holiday?
I'm doing good, Jacoby. I had a good break, which I loved. Went to a Friendsgiving over the weekend too, which was really nice. And I finally had like actual Thanksgiving food because my family doesn't usually make it on Thanksgiving. So that was really delicious. Had a very the tenderest, most juicy turkey I've had ever. Ooh. So shout out to my friends. They did an amazing job.
Do you know what they did different or what they did special with it? Did they do like a brine or something?
They did a brine and they said that it was beer.
Oh, I usually know like the oranges, the herbs.
Yeah, they brined it with oranges, they said a lot of garlic, a lot of butter, of course, just overdosed on that. But they said that they think it was the beer. They basically used their mom's chicken recipe to the turkey, and I thought it was a success. It was so good. We all kept raving about it. But that was really fun. How was your holiday, Jacoby?
It was great. I've been eating off leftovers for a little bit. You know, I got the 2 Thanksgivings between Tay's family and mine. The dirty rice at Taylor's family, the sweet potatoes. I'm still thinking about my mom's mac and cheese. I went back on Sunday and she did a pot roast with some of the leftover mac and cheese and rice. Still eating off of that. And I got she make us all individual sweet potato pies. So she make like 17 or 18 sweet potato pies. And every single kid and a partner, if they request, can get their own pie. And so overall, I'm going to call it a successful holiday weekend. On top of the fact that Thanksgiving leaned right into a Bears victory out in Philadelphia. And I'm only bringing it up now. I know we're going to talk a little bit about it later because I texted CityCast Philly host bright and early Friday morning, the homie Trinae. And I was like, hey, I hope your Thanksgiving was good. But we coming into your trap today to take over your trap, and that's exactly what happened. So just shout out to CityCast Philly and Trinae. I appreciate y'all. But we got to talk about walking into Saturday in the snowstorm of all snowstorms of November, which I felt it while it was happening. While I was looking out the window and saw the snow coming down, when I went out for a walk, I was feeling this feel like some of the most snow I've ever seen in November. And Michelle, that was validated by the headlines come Sunday and even Monday. When we say snowiest day in November, what did that actually look like on paper?
The snowiest November day before Saturday was November 6th, 1951, when there was 8 inches. So we just beat that because on Saturday, there was almost 9 inches of snow on parts of the city over 2 days. At O'Hare Airport, it was reported about 8.4 inches on Saturday. Midway reported 7.2 inches as of noon on Sunday, according to the National Weather Service. And so it's pretty cool. I love when we break records. We do kind of hear that often. Like, unfortunately, I feel like in the last couple of years, it's always been kind of some heat wave record, which is a little frightening. But snow, it's like, okay, this is cool. I know there's been a couple of past years where we've had to wait till like around late December for snow, or even then we've gone into January without any snow. And so I do love snow. I enjoyed it. I still went out Saturday morning before it got really bad. I loved it. I am big on wearing my snow pants.
I definitely threw some snow pants on. Gee, I guess that's the
Yo,
only
I
overalls I own.
yup. Like, dude, snow pants are like if you live in Chicago, if you live in the Midwest and you don't own snow gear, I don't care if you've never touched a board or you ever skied, like you
Hmm.
need the snow pants.
Yeah.
I was seeing people in their jeans and I'm just looking down at them
Hmm.
low key, like y'all live here. Like, why are you guys not
Y'all not
like
ready.
you're
Hey, y'all
not
not
ready? I
ready.
am. And so I was having a blast. Jacoby, do you like like sports, snow activities? Are you a snow person?
Gee, I got the snow pants because last time I went snowboarding, I was out in Alaska a few years ago, and I haven't worn them since. But it felt like the perfect day to wear them on Saturday, and I did go out. I had to remind myself of just how privileged I was having a day off. Like I'm not out here driving a
Hmm.
bus or working delivery or got to go into the hospitals or the various other people who do work on the weekends or had to be out on these roads because they did look treacherous. And I was driving through all of last week and I left the car. So I didn't have to drive all of Saturday or Sunday. And I felt for people outside, but you can't deny how beautiful it looks when it's just fresh powder, when it just is coming down. I do love being outside. You know, I saw my nieces sledding over the weekend. You know, if I can snowboard at some point during this next couple of months to get thrown down a mountain for 4 hours, I will. But yeah, it was beautiful. I was glad I was outside and then got right inside and watched maybe 8 hours of The Wire season 4 back to back to back with some buffalo wings and called it a day. I feel bad for the people who had to be outside though, because I know them flights, them roads, they was tricky. What was the numbers? What did it look like outside?
Yeah, so the Sun-Times reported 480 crashes on Chicago expressways on Saturday from 5 a.m. to 11:30 p.m.
Hmm.
Of those 480 crashes, 66 people were injured, unfortunately. But again, compared to 480, I'm glad that it wasn't more than that. And 300 drivers called for assistance, according to the Illinois State Police. When we're looking at the airports, more than 1,300 flights were canceled on Saturday. I was at my parents' house on Saturday, and earlier we saw my parents' neighbor get picked up with
Hmm.
their luggage, and then maybe like an hour and a half later, we saw him get dropped back off, and we were like looking out the window, we're like, "Damn, Don Chavita, he wasn't able to leave to Mexico yet."
Yeah.
So we felt for him. And so yeah, so that happened at the airports. On Sunday. Over 2/3 of flights were delayed, and there was still some cancellations on Sunday, but there was way less compared to Saturday. And at Midway, almost half the flights were delayed. So it was a tricky weekend for travelers. A lot of my friends who came back to the city over the holiday break were just like posting on Instagram how they're stuck here.
Hmm.
But they looked happy about it. They were really enjoying the snow. And I'm sure that wherever they were traveling to, they were not seeing this snow. And so, I always say if, getting on a plane that's going to be like mad bumpy versus just kicking it and staying a day at, might as well just enjoy the snow day. So I hope people were able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my cousin got out like 2 hours before the storms really got bad. And I will say, we didn't get it as bad as some of the suburbs where they saw up to 10 inches. Indiana saw some 10, 11 inches of snow as well. And so it was beautiful while it lasted. Videos of that brown bear, Mr. Tim at Brookfield Zoo was all over my timeline and looked like they was having a damn good time out there. Where I was, the plows were already out, posted up Friday night, Saturday. Depending on where you live, of course, your streets are going to look maybe a little bit better or a little bit worse. But if you are looking for the city's warming resources during this time, make sure you call 311. Know that your community service centers in the Inglewood Center, the Garfield Center, the MLK King Center, North Area, South Chicago, and Trinidad Villa are open 9 a.m. to 5, as well as some of the city's most crucial senior centers. And if you ever want to do a well-being check for seniors, unhoused neighbors, or to find the nearest warming centers, call 311. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good hands-on class. I've recently done rug making, pasta, pottery, candles, and now I'm excited for Less Booze, All the Buzz, an interactive hands-on cocktail workshop where we'll get to shake things up with the experts. We'll learn about low and no alcohol ingredients that complement some of our favorite high alcohol spirits, how to lower the alcohol in our favorite cocktails, recipes, and that confidence to make them for our next house party. This workshop includes over 15 cocktail tastings, hors d'oeuvres, and a cocktail making session where we'll learn 10 recipes plus a take-home recipe booklet. Don't miss out. Less Booze, All the Buzz on December 11th and 12th. The perfect opportunity to up your hosting game. Rates for a private event are available. Visit their event page to learn more at dandelion-beved.com. That's dandelion-beved, BEVED.com. The holidays are nearly here, and if you're looking for something to do with the entire family in downtown Chicago that's part festive but also allows you to get your caroling on while being warm inside, join Uniting Voices for Winter Glow. Winter Glow is this vibrant, family-friendly performance at the iconic Symphony Center filled with holiday classics, songs from around the world, and contemporary favorites, all performed by Chicago's talented young voices. And you know what? I think they love a good sing-along energy in the audience. It's the kind of joyful, heartwarming experience all your people will remember long after the season ends. And the best part? Tickets are sliding scale because everyone deserves access to the magic. Make Winter Glow your downtown destination this holiday season. Visit unitingvoiceschicago.org/winterglow to get your tickets today.
Jacoby, this doesn't really apply to me because I do not drive, but everyone knows that the start of December is the start of the overnight parking ban. What should we know about this?
It's funny because there really are levels on our team, to Simone driving all the time, me driving a couple times a month, to you never driving, not even having your license, making it a New Year's resolution for probably almost a decade of your life now. The snowstorm dropping right alongside the winter overnight parking ban, probably an extra headache for at least a few Chicagoans over the weekend, especially given we in this tight budget season. And so, they are going to be nickel and diming as many fines and fees as they possibly can be. This ban is enforced regardless of snow. It went into effect at 3 a.m. going into Monday for more than 100 miles of main streets. So we talking like Archer, parts of Kedzie, Cottage Grove, MLK, Milwaukee, between Bryn Mawr and Lawrence, parts of Foster. I'll drop a link in the show notes so you can find the full map, what parts of the city this impacts. But remember, you can't park 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. This is all the way until April 1st. And again, they are going to tow. They've made it clear that they're going to tow. It's $150 towing fee, $60 ticket, and $25 daily for the storage fee. And if you go outside and you don't see a bunch of glass on the ground where your car used to be, then maybe call 311, check in to see if you got towed. You also got the can't park if there are 2 inches of snow or more signs that impacts some 500 miles of Chicago streets. And that's no matter the time of the day or the calendar date. And so just kind of pay attention to those signs. I know that this is frustrating for some people whose block, the last street sweeper came through on November 24th. And then a week later, you're rolling into overnight parking bans potentially, can be tough. They is towing. So pay attention when you pulling up, and when you decide to leave your car overnight. Again, Michelle, I know this does not impact you and is probably going to motivate you against getting your license for at least the next 4 to 6 months.
You know what? Everyone loves to clown on the fact that I don't have my license. But then when I'm driving with friends, they always something happens, they get a ticket or someone's being crazy on the road. And they always look at me and say, you know what, Michelle? don't get your license. So definitely it's not going to happen during the winter time, that's for sure, but it will be once again in my 2026 New Year's resolution to get my license. Tune in to see if it actually happens. But until then, thank you very much to all my CTA operators who take me from all parts of the city safely, even during snowstorms. Thank you all.
I've experienced every headache that comes with having a car, from sticker and tag tickets to I done been booted, I done been towed. Obviously, I done been in car accidents. I done been I done run into people. But I will say during the winter, the thing that I experienced that was probably the one of the most frustrating is going out in the morning, especially if you have to park on like an icy street and your car just still been in a parking spot, but absolutely total on one side because somebody ran, like slid right into you and then just took off. And that has happened to me twice. And so, I can't clown you during this time of the year.
So, Jacoby, I don't really pay much attention to football, but I do recall you saying earlier in the season that the Bears weren't looking so hot, but it seems like they're doing pretty hot right now. So, in the simplest terms, could you please explain to me what's going on? I know the Bears and the Packers, huge rivalry. I went to school in Wisconsin, so I dealt with many cheeseheads in my past. What is exciting about this game?
I remember we had Corley on, and Corley said we are a playoff team.
And I'm pretty sure you laughed at her. Someone laughed at her.
I expressed some doubt because I didn't necessarily say we were going to be bad, but I did think our division would be too difficult because last year the other three teams were damn good, and we finished at the bottom of the division for the third year in a row. And the idea that with a second-year quarterback and a first-year head coach, we become a playoff team was hard to sit with. It was hard to make sense of. And now to be here at the start of December, and the Bears are 9-3, number one in the division with 5 games to go. We haven't won our division, Michelle, since 2018. We haven't had a playoff game since 2020. We haven't won a playoff game, which I think is maybe still too early to be thinking about, since 2010. And so going into the season, the idea of being a playoff team was, it was really hard to imagine. And yet here we are. And the reason this is important is not only because it's probably the most competitive Packers Bears game in years. It's for the division. We right now sit at the top of the NFC, which again, haven't been able to say in years. And there's a very good chance that we can do exactly what we did to Philadelphia. And that's go into Green Bay, go into their trap, take over their trap. And I think for a lot of Bears fans, it's a mini Super Bowl. The idea of winning in Lambeau Field and the game actually mattering is a big deal. I think we can start having some expectations. I think we're real. I think we are a team people should be maybe a little bit afraid to play. And as it gets colder outside and the snow starts to fall, Caleb looks good in his second year. Ben Johnson is a Coach of the Year candidate. And I don't know if you've seen these videos, but after the Bears win, there's just so much energy in the locker room. Ben Johnson took his shirt off so that there could be free hot dogs at the Wiener Circle today for everybody who pulls up. But after every game, after he gives out the game ball, sort of says a few words about, what it took to win that game, the entire team just breaks out in this chant. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3 Bears. And I saw a player on the team, Cole Kmet, who's a tight end, and he's been there for a few years, or a couple of years at least. And he said, when a new coach comes in and they have their way of doing things and their own rituals and their own chants, some of the veteran players are like, okay, right, here's another change, another culture change, another coach doing their own thing. But you watch week after week as players believe in this more and more. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. And the energy when they're doing this chant week after week, you see all of the comments and the videos. It's like my show is on. I've been waiting for this feeling. The culture seems to have taken a turn. People seem to be bought in. We have good players across the board. I don't know if it's enough to make a deep run into the playoffs, but I will say this might be the biggest Packers-Bears game since 2013, maybe.
Wow, that's over a decade.
Yeah.
I definitely will be watching the game. I like watching sports when the stakes feel high. And so I know this is going to be a good game. So I'm trying to get some friends together. We're probably going to watch it together. So there's going to be a good amount of watch parties in Chicago for the Bears versus the Packers game. I know Fat Poor Tap in Wicker Park. They usually have their game day specials, $9 bear down bombs. They have $25 beer buckets. They have a bunch of stuff. So they're going to have a watch party. There's also going to be a watch party at a Wilma's Famous Barbecue and Tavern in the Loop, League of Their Own Chicago, which is like an organization that, brings women together with wellness and sports. They're going to be hosting a watch party with a DJ and some food. And the event is co-ed. And so everyone is welcome to join them. They just ask for you to RSVP. And then the Bears, like their official away watch party is at Emil's Tavern in Grays Lake, Illinois. And so there's going to be a bunch of places to watch the game. I'm sure your local sports bar will, of course, have their own specials. Jacoby, where do you usually watching big games like this?
That's a good question because I do got options. Not too far from me, former Bears player Israel Adonijah has Signature. He's also got Buttercup, and then he's got Staley's. I've seen games at both Staley's and Signature. But for one this big, I don't know, man. Me and my homie been talking about maybe going to Stony Point out in the South Burbs. This is one I definitely feel like I can't just stay home and watch alone. I got to either go to somebody's house or I got to go out and experience this with a group. Like win, lose, or draw. I got to watch the Bears play the Packers last year at Soldier Field, and just the energy of being around other people during this game in particular is really great. Damn, this is crazy. 9-3 is wild. People can say what they want. We just beat the Super Bowl champs in their house, and so it's already been a win for a season. It could end today, and I'd be like, anything after where we are today is gravy on top for me.
I love to hear that your Bear dreams are coming true. I'm definitely excited. I might have people over. Maybe I'll go somewhere. I'm going to look around and see which one of my local bars is playing the game because I love the sports energy and I love to win. And so good luck to the Bears. I'm sure they'll make us proud.
Hey, if you come into Karaoke Storytellers that night, I'm already letting you know my mood will be dependent. It's the truth. I'm going to show up and show out, but mood will be dependent. I want to give a huge thank you to our producer, Michelle Navarro, for being here. As always, a good time, my friend.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Before we get out of here, make sure you bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. And while you're there, if you love the podcast, if you love reading the Hey Chicago newsletter, then consider this Giving Tuesday, giving to your friends over at CityCast Chicago and signing up to become a CityCast Chicago neighbor. For $10 a month, you're going to get ad-free listening, access to some neighbors-only events, and we got some great ones planned for 2026. But every week, we also going to send you some of our favorite things happening in and around the city directly to your inbox. We really appreciate y'all. Hundreds of people have signed up in 2025, and we want to finish this year strong. So again, head over to membership.citycast.fm. Of course, I can't let you go without some good news. I just want to show some love for Keelan Blackwell at Southside Blooms. The organization works with young people to help transform vacant lots and other spaces into these gorgeous flower farms. Their sunflower farm in Inglewood is one of my favorite community spaces, and they are in the running for a $100,000 grant through CNN Heroes. While voting has ended, we can watch the 19th annual CNN Heroes All-Star Tribute this Saturday at 7 o'clock, and Keelan, the entire CityCast Chicago and all of Chicago is rooting for you. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.